No one is born destined to fail. Failure is not fate, it is simply the result of limited thinking, aimless actions, and a lack of belief in oneself. Each of us possesses a tremendous power, the power to choose our path, to change our circumstances, and most importantly, the power to take control of our own destiny. As Napoleon Hill once said, thought is the highest form of human power. When you learn to think correctly, nurture a burning desire, and act with clear purpose, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the architect of your own life. Dare to dream big, the beginning of all success. There is a simple but powerful truth that far too many people forget: every great success begins with a dream. Not talent. Not luck. But the ability to dream, to desire, and to believe that the impossible can become real. Daring to dream big is the first step toward taking control of your destiny. Napoleon Hill once declared that a burning desire is the starting point of all achievement. Without desire, there is no action. Without a dream, there is no direction. And without direction, you become a ship adrift on the ocean of life, tossed by the waves of circumstance instead of navigating toward the shores of success. Look back at any great figure in history, leaders, inventors, entrepreneurs, artists, and you will find that their journey began not with certainty, not with perfect conditions, but with a dream. A dream so strong that it refused to be ignored. Thomas Edison dreamed of a world lit by electric light. Martin Luther King Jr. dreamed of racial equality. Steve Jobs dreamed of putting a computer in every home. These weren't small dreams. They were massive, world-changing visions. And what made them powerful wasn't just the idea, it was the unwavering belief behind them. But what about us? What about you? The modern world often tells us to be realistic. We're taught to lower our expectations, to play it safe, to dream small so we won't be disappointed. This mindset doesn't protect us, it traps us. It convinces us that comfort is better than growth, that stability is more valuable than potential. And over time, we begin to shrink our dreams to fit the limits of our fears. Napoleon Hill warned against this exact danger. He believed that small thinking leads to small results. If you aim for nothing, you'll hit it every time. But if you dare to imagine a life far beyond your current circumstances, if you allow yourself to believe that you can become more, do more, and have more, then you ignite a fire within you that begins to change everything. Dreaming big is not about fantasy. It's about vision. It's about choosing to live intentionally. It's about refusing to let the past, your surroundings, or even your current reality define what's possible for your future. The size of your dream will determine the size of your motivation. A small dream won't get you out of bed at 5 a.m. A small dream won't push you through rejection, criticism, or failure. But a big dream, a dream that stirs your soul, will. And here's the truth: the moment you give yourself permission to dream big, you start sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind. You tell it, this is who I want to become. This is the life I intend to live. Your brain begins to search for opportunities, for patterns, for resources that align with that vision. Hill called this the power of autosuggestion, the ability to feed your mind with thoughts that shape your reality. When your dominant thoughts are about possibility and purpose, you start making choices that reflect those thoughts. Of course, dreaming big also means you will face fear. Doubt will show up. People will question you. You'll question yourself. That's normal. Every bold dreamer has walked through fear. But courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to keep moving forward in spite of it. When you dream big, fear is a companion, not a master. So how do you start? How do you reignite your ability to dream? Begin by asking yourself, if I knew I couldn't fail, what would I attempt? Let your answer come from your deepest desires, not your current limitations. Don't worry about how just yet. Focus on the what and the why. The how will come as you move forward. Write your dream down. Be specific. See it in your mind. Describe it with clarity. Feel the emotion behind it. Your dream must be so vivid that it becomes more real to you than your excuses. Then, protect that dream. Guard it against cynicism and negativity. Surround yourself with people who believe in possibility. Read books that lift your vision. Listen to voices that empower you. Because your environment will either nourish your dream or starve it. And most importantly, act. Even the biggest dream is powerless without action. Take one step today. Make one decision that aligns with your vision. Action transforms dreams into destiny. Let me leave you with this: no one else can dream your dream for you. It is uniquely yours. And if you do not pursue it, the world will miss something only you could have created. You were not meant to settle. You were not meant to live small. You were meant to shine. So don't be a failure, not because failure is shameful, but because failure is a choice when you choose fear over faith, excuses over effort, and comfort over courage. Dare to dream big. Let that dream pull you forward. And in doing so, take the first bold step toward mastering your destiny. Faith is power, believe, and you're already halfway there. After you dare to dream big, the next crucial step is to believe. Not just to wish, not just to hope, but to believe with absolute certainty that your dream is possible, and more than that, that it is meant for you. Napoleon Hill stated plainly, faith is the head chemist of the mind. He understood that belief has a unique power. It is the emotional fuel that gives life to your dreams. Without faith, your goals remain hollow words. With faith, they become the foundation of a new reality. Think about this: every person who's ever done something remarkable, built a company, invented something new, overcome adversity, had to believe in themselves before anyone else did. The world didn't hand them certainty. They created it. And that belief became the force that kept them moving when logic told them to stop. So how does faith work in real life? It begins internally. Faith is not given to you. It's developed. It's built moment by moment, decision by decision. You grow it by choosing to believe in possibility even when you can't see the full path. You feed it by surrounding yourself with positive input, uplifting books, mentors, conversations, and thoughts that reinforce your vision. One of Hill's most powerful concepts is autosuggestion, the practice of repeating affirmations, clear statements of intent, to influence the subconscious mind. When you say to yourself every day, "I am capable. I am moving toward my goal. I deserve success," you're not lying to yourself. You're planting seeds. And with repetition, those seeds become beliefs. And beliefs become behavior. But let's be real, faith doesn't mean you won't doubt. You will. You'll have days when the dream feels far away, when obstacles pile up, when people around you don't understand your vision. That's normal. Faith is not the absence of doubt, it's the ability to move forward even when doubt is present. It's the inner voice that says, "I don't have all the answers, but I'm going anyway." When you develop real faith, you stop waiting for permission. You stop needing everyone to approve. Because your belief in your dream is stronger than your fear of rejection. That's the tipping point. That's when your energy shifts. You walk differently. You speak differently. You make decisions from a place of purpose instead of panic. Let me give you a powerful image. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a cliff, and there is a bridge you can't see with your eyes, but deep down, something in you knows it's there. Faith is the act of stepping forward anyway, trusting that the bridge will rise to meet your foot. Most people never take that step. They wait until they can see the bridge, until it feels safe, until the outcome is guaranteed. But those who win in life, they step into the unknown with belief. And that step is what brings the bridge into reality. Hill also reminds us that belief is contagious. When you believe in yourself, others begin to believe in you too. Confidence is magnetic. It attracts opportunity, support, and momentum. But it starts with you. You cannot expect the world to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. If your faith is weak, don't worry. It's like a muscle, it grows with use. Start small. Keep promises to yourself. Follow through. Notice your wins, no matter how small. Each act of integrity, each little success, each time you silence doubt and take action, that's how belief is built. Here's something to reflect on. What do you believe about yourself? About your future? About what you deserve? If your answers are rooted in fear, failure, or limitation, it's time to change that. Write new beliefs. Choose new words. Hill taught us that we become what we think about most of the time. So if your thoughts are full of faith, your future will reflect that faith. You may have been told you're not good enough. You may have been judged, dismissed, or overlooked. But none of that defines you. You define you. And the moment you choose to believe that you are capable of extraordinary things, the game changes. Doors open. Ideas flow. People notice. Because belief is not invisible, it shows up in how you live. So, believe boldly. Believe consistently. And believe not just in your dream, but in your ability to achieve it. Remember this: faith is power. It is the internal engine that propels every external victory. It turns doubt into determination, fear into focus, and dreams into plans. Believe, and you're already halfway there. Disciplined action, turning vision into destiny. Dreaming big sets the direction. Believing deeply gives you the strength. But without action, all of it is meaningless. The third pillar of taking control of your destiny is disciplined action, the steady, intentional steps that transform your dream from a distant hope into a tangible reality. Napoleon Hill made this very clear: faith without action is dead. You can visualize success all day. You can affirm your greatness every morning. But until you move, until you do, nothing changes. The bridge between your dream and your destiny is built with bricks of action. But let's be honest, taking action is hard. Especially when the dream is big, the path is unclear, and fear is lurking in every corner. That's why discipline is critical. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. It's the structure you build around your life that says, even when I don't feel like it, I show up anyway. You see, success isn't just one big decision, it's 1,000 small ones. Waking up early when you'd rather sleep. Saying no to distractions when they call your name. Choosing to work on your goals after a long day, when no one's watching, when no one's cheering. That's discipline. And that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Hill emphasized organized planning, a principle that often gets overlooked. Many people dream vaguely, act sporadically, and wonder why they don't see results. But nothing worthwhile happens by accident. You must treat your goal like a mission. Break it into steps. Create timelines. Set priorities. Review your progress. Adjust when necessary. This is not about rigidity, it's about responsibility. And don't mistake movement for progress. Just being busy doesn't mean you're being effective. Disciplined action means doing the right things, consistently, even when they're not exciting. It means choosing growth over comfort. It means being honest with yourself when you fall short, and being resilient enough to get back on track. But where do you begin? Start where you are, with what you have. Don't wait for the perfect moment, it will never come. Don't wait until you feel ready, you may never feel that way. Begin with the next right step. Momentum is built through movement. Action creates clarity. As you move forward, the path will reveal itself. And remember, failure is part of the process. You will stumble. You will face setbacks. You will be tempted to give up. But Napoleon Hill taught us to persist. He said, every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. When things go wrong, and they will, don't see it as a sign to stop. See it as a test. A lesson. A chance to prove your commitment. Disciplined action also means being accountable. Don't hide from your goals. Share them. Track them. Find someone who can challenge you, support you, and remind you of what you said you would do. Hill valued the power of a mastermind group, people working together in harmony toward a common goal. Surround yourself with disciplined minds, and your own discipline will sharpen. Let's also address the mindset behind action. People often say, I'll act when I feel confident. But here's the truth: confidence doesn't create action, action creates confidence. Every time you act, you prove to yourself that you're capable. That proof compounds. Over time, you build self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of unstoppable momentum. So what does disciplined action look like in practice? It's setting clear goals, not vague wishes. It's creating a daily routine that supports your priorities. It's cutting out distractions, even the tempting ones. It's committing to growth, even when it's uncomfortable. And it's showing up every single day, not perfectly, but consistently. It doesn't matter how slowly you go, as long as you don't stop. Small, disciplined steps, taken every day, will lead you farther than bursts of random energy. The world doesn't reward intention, it rewards execution. The people who rise, the people who lead, the people who shape their own destiny, they're the ones who took their dreams, added belief, and acted relentlessly. So here's the question: what are you doing today to move toward your dream? What step, no matter how small, can you take right now? Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for approval. Don't wait for perfection. Start now. Start where you are. Start messy if you must, but start. Because in the end, it's not the most talented who succeed. It's the most disciplined. The ones who chose action over comfort. The ones who kept going when it would have been easier to quit. The ones who understood that disciplined action is not a chore, it's a privilege. It's how we turn vision into destiny. Mastering the self, rise above to take control. Everything you've heard so far, dreaming big, believing deeply, and acting with discipline, will remain incomplete unless you learn one final lesson: self-mastery. To take control of your destiny, you must first take control of yourself. Napoleon Hill called it self-discipline, the ability to govern your own mind, emotions, habits, and responses. In his words, if you do not conquer self, you will be conquered by self. No external enemy is more dangerous than an undisciplined mind. No outside obstacle can stop you more completely than your own inner chaos. Think about it: how many people have big dreams, real talent, strong ambition, but still fall short? It's not because they didn't try. It's because they couldn't master the forces within. They were driven by fear, consumed by doubt, distracted by emotion, or enslaved by comfort. They lost the inner battle before the outer one even began. True success starts on the inside. Mastering the self means becoming the leader of your own mind. It means learning to recognize the thoughts that serve you, and the ones that sabotage you. It means understanding that your mind is both your greatest tool and your greatest threat, depending on how you use it. Hill emphasized the power of definiteness of purpose, knowing exactly what you want and directing all your thoughts and actions toward that goal. But to do that, you must learn to discipline your thinking. The average person lets their mind wander all day, drifting into worry, jealousy, negativity, comparison. That mental noise drains energy and focus. But the person who masters their thoughts becomes a weapon. Sharp. Focused. Unstoppable. Self-mastery also means emotional control. Not suppression, but awareness. It's the ability to feel anger, fear, doubt, and not be ruled by them. When someone criticizes you, do you react impulsively? When things go wrong, do you collapse in frustration? Or do you pause, breathe, and respond instead of react? The most powerful people in history all had one thing in common: calm in chaos. That's not a personality trait, it's a trained skill. And it starts by realizing that you are not your emotions. You are the observer of them. You choose how to interpret, how to respond, and how to move forward. Mastering the self also means taking full responsibility for your life. No more blaming. No more excuses. No more waiting for someone else to fix it. You don't control everything that happens, but you always control what you do next. And in that next decision lies your power. There is a quiet confidence that comes from self-mastery. It's not loud. It doesn't need to impress. It simply knows. You walk with purpose. You speak with intention. You work with clarity. And that energy is magnetic. But here's the truth, mastering yourself is not a one-time victory. It's a daily discipline. It's built through habits, what you choose to read, how you treat your body, how you spend your time, who you let into your life. Every choice either strengthens or weakens your command over yourself. Hill was clear, you must take control of the 6 basic fears: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. These fears rule most people's lives, whether they admit it or not. But the person who masters themselves learns to face these fears, to understand them, and ultimately, to rise above them. Because here's what you need to know, you were not born to be average. You were born to lead yourself. To master your mind. To direct your destiny. And when you finally learn to control what happens within you, what happens around you no longer controls your life. So where do you begin? Start by observing your thoughts. Write them down. See the patterns. Challenge the ones that are rooted in fear or limitation. Take inventory of your habits. Which ones serve your future? Which ones steal from it? Practice silence. Learn to be alone with your thoughts. You can't master what you don't first hear. And most of all, commit to the process. You won't get it perfect. But each day you try, you grow stronger. Mastering the self is not easy. That's why so few do it. But it is the final key to taking control of your destiny. Because when you have mastered your mind, your emotions, your habits, and your choices, you become unstoppable. You are no longer reactive. You are deliberate. You don't follow the world, you shape it. And that is when you stop being a failure and start becoming the architect of your life. You don't need permission. You don't need luck. You need vision, belief, action, and above all, mastery. So rise above. Take the throne within. And rule your destiny from the inside out. You hold the pen, write your destiny. You've now seen the path laid out before you. It begins with the courage to dream beyond your limits. It continues with the unshakable faith that your dream is possible. It moves forward through disciplined, daily action. And it culminates in the highest achievement of all, mastering yourself. This is not theory. This is the blueprint for greatness. This is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. The world may tell you to settle. Your fears may whisper that you're not enough. But within you lies a power greater than fear, stronger than doubt, the power to choose. Choose to reject failure. Choose to own your thoughts. Choose to act with purpose. Choose to believe when no one else does. Choose to become the person worthy of the dream you carry. Napoleon Hill reminded us that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But only if you decide. Only if you take the lead. Only if you take back the pen and write the story of your own destiny. So here's the truth. You were never meant to be a failure. You were born to lead, to create, to rise. Now go claim the life that's been waiting for you.